Hi, today we're looking at the structure of the cell membrane a little bit deeper. So overall, the cell membrane is what we call it's made of a phospholipid bilayer. So that sounds super fancy, but what it really means is the pieces, and I'm gonna just pick a color, I'm gonna pick blue. The pieces that make up the membrane are called phospholipids. So this whole thing that I circled here is a phospholipid, and there are two parts to the phospholipid. We have a phosphate head in red here, and a fatty acid portion in blue with the little zigzags. That's how we know it's a fatty acid. And the phosphate head in red is the polar side of the phospholipid, which means it loves water. The fatty acid tails here are nonpolar. They actually hate water. There are fancy names for this concept of loving water is hydrophilic. The fancy word for hating water is hydrophobic. Think like phobia is you're like scared of something. So it's important for us to realize that in kind of zooming in and taking a look at our cell, we have the membrane, which is kind of typically represented by the single line. But if we zoom in on that single line, it's actually two layers of phospholipids. And that's why we call it the phospholipid bilayer. Here we have the inside of the cell. And inside the cell, hypothetically, there's lots of water. And since the heads the phosphate heads are polar and love water, they face the inside of the cell. So they line the whole inside of the cell. If we look, the outside of the cell generally has a lot of water as well. So again, those phosphate heads in red are lining the outside of the cell as well. We then notice that this inside area here, this is the area that doesn't face any water. And those are where the lipids are oriented or are placed. And that is the basic structure of the cell membrane. We're going to take a look at some more details in the next couple videos. Thank you.